The 2023 NFL Draft is around the corner, and it's time for another Sportsocracy team-by-team 3-round mock draft by @ESPN Draft Nerd Jeremy Greene. And it's time for the Houston Texans, who have quite a few picks in the first 3 rounds of the draft. They've got 5 total, 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third. And with the number 2 overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft,
Bryce Young, quarterback out of Alabama.
it's the only thing that makes sense.
Here's the thing. Houston boo-boo kiddied by not having the first overall pick, and they're still going to end up getting the player they wanted. Bryce Young is a perfect fit for what Houston is going to want to do. But he's so small. I don't care. The league's getting smaller. It's getting faster. You hit quarterbacks at your own peril at this point. I'm just not worried about it. 20 years ago, would I have been worried about Bryce Young? Yeah. Am I now? No.
The league goes out of its way to protect quarterbacks, and that benefits the small guys.
Yeah, Drew Brees didn't have a whole lot of problem in the NFL. And I'll be honest with you, I think that's a decent comp to Bryce Young. He's not as accurate in the short passing game as Drew Brees was, but he's got a great arm. Really smart, really heady, takes really good care of himself.
Way more mobile.
He is, but it was almost like he didn't want to. Him and C.J. Stroud both had like an aversion to running. And it got a little better as time went on, which makes me feel better. I'll be honest with you. The only knock on him, really, is his size. I think he is what Russell Wilson was built to be. That's who he reminds me of.
Yep.
I think he can be that same type of player, and the Houston Texans get an absolute A1 steak sauce home run shot here at number 2.
At number 12, this is the pick from Cleveland in the Deshaun Watson deal.
I've had this same guy going here for an extended period of time, and I don't know why I'm having to defend this so much. It doesn't make a ton of sense to me, but it's Quentin Johnston, the wide receiver out of TCU. And every time we do this, I get at least a handful of Texans fans that go, well, I'd rather have Jackson Smith and Jigba. Well, you're in the minority there because that's just not what any evaluator that I have talked to believes. Jackson Smith and Jigba was propped up by having Marvin Harrison on the other side. He was propped up by having 2 really good quarterbacks. Quentin Johnston never had that. In terms of raw talent, he is the best receiver in this class, and it's one of those things like telling me you put mayonnaise on French fries. I judge you the second that comes out, and if you have any other receiver at 1, I'm judging you. It doesn't make sense. I don't know what the hell you're looking at. And for me, this is the long-term number 1 receiver for the Houston Texans, and it is a perfect pairing with Bryce Young because it takes advantage of that deep ball arm that he's got.
In the second round, pick number 34.
I have really wanted to put Trenton Simpson here because he reminds me so much of D'Amico Ryans, and I think you need that guy, but there's a value that I just can't bypass, and it's Miles Murphy, the edge out of Clemson. Every Clemson Tiger is falling for the exact same reason that I told you 2 months ago. Clemson's notoriously sunshine, rainbows, and unicorn tears about every player that they have. Mm-hmm. So we in the industry have to dig deeper, and the deeper you dig on Miles Murphy, the more you realize that he's a lot rawer than you want him to be. Now, can he be an elite pass rusher? Yeah, he can be. He has the same problem that Clelin Ferrell had. He was on a defense that was so damn good that I can't actually tell you how good he is. Raw, it's absolutely there. Burst plays, explosive, good pass rusher. But I told you early on, this kid ain't going in the top 10. In the early parts of this process, he was consistently talked about in the top 10, and it didn't make any sense. Everybody I talked to said that was inaccurate, and now we've gotten to here. But at this spot, 34 overall, that's a value.
It's worth the gamble, yeah.
And before anybody says, you got the pick numbers wrong. No, we're going by the way the NFL told me of that 21st pick from Miami is a forfeited pick, and it will count. So before you tell me, you got the pick numbers wrong. No, I didn't.
The first pick in the 33rd round. In the third round is at number 66, and you've got them taking a linebacker here.
And I absolutely am hammered on this kid. It's Dorian Williams, linebacker out of Tulane.
What makes him special?
He's so damn fast. He is such a modern-day NFL linebacker. Are there some concerns because he's only 228 pounds? I mean, yeah, but he's so damn fast. And he will have to be paired with a specific type of linebacker, but he's a really sure tackler, especially for this size. Usually that's a problem with undersized linebackers like this. It's not a problem for him. He's the best coverage linebacker in this draft, and it's not even kind of close. Such a fluid – he's so fluid in his movements. There's no wasted energy, and that's something I look for in a linebacker. What I hate is guys that are unsure of themselves or their feet and their eyes and their brain don't line up. Not a problem here, all right? And this kid is – the biggest knock on him is that the effort was not always super consistent. If he had put that A tape that I've seen from him more consistently, he'd be a first-round pick. He didn't. He played at a smaller school, and that's really about the only knock I have on him. I think he would be a home run here at 66 for the Houston Texans.
Okay, at number 74, they have this pick from Cleveland as well.
I really want you to try to say this guy's name because I know you can't.
He's a center from Michigan, and I'm going to call him Double O.
Olowatimi is his name. Don't try to pronounce his first name. He goes by Olu.
Double O center. That's what he's now
Very
called.
often, or at least what I'm hearing, is that a lot of teams have 3 A centers in this draft. John Michael Schmitz is the highest rated center I've had since Nick Mangold, other than Tyler Linderbaum last year, who was undersized. In terms of stereotypical size, height, weight, speed, all those things out of a center, he's the highest rated one I've had since Nick Mangold, which is ironic because I think the Jets are going to take him early in the second round. Luke Whippler out of Ohio State, Joe Tippmann out of Wisconsin. That's how everybody else feels about this. To me, I think Olowatimi is 4. And I think he's damn close to the other 3. I do not know what it is about him that has pushed him down. Because I just – is he the greatest pass blocker I've ever seen? No. He's a better run blocker than he is pass blocker. Remington Award winner, Outland Award winner. I don't really get what it is that people see and knock him on, because I think he's one of the smartest players in this draft. And – for me, this is your center for many
Day one starter.
Oh yeah,
okay.
For many years to come.
All right. See, and now you add a piece like that to the offensive line. Now you're doing
that props
stuff.
up Kenyon Greene, because now you've got Kenyon Greene in between Olowatimi and Laramie Tunsil. So now the left side of your line is good.
And you just brought in Shaq Mason as well. Like
yes.
You're just missing one piece now.
Yes, and I mean I think they have. I think that gets to a point where now you can really make use of Dameon Pierce, because now he's not having to generate his own yards. Things are actually being blocked for him.
Mm-hmm.
For me, this would be an A+ for the Houston Texans and would be absolutely knocking it out of the park.
All right, team-by-team mock drafts will roll on throughout the draftmas season here. 3-round mock draft in the books for the Houston Texans.
If you like these picks, if you hate them, if you just want to call me a big mulleted dipshit, feel free to do so in the comments. If there's a player you'd like to know how they fit with the Houston Texans, why I didn't take them, feel free to comment that as well. I answer all those, and it might be featured in our next Houston Texans video, which should be coming out next week.
Click that subscribe button so you get all of our team-by-team draftmas season content right here in the Sportsocracy.